name's Andrew Davis. I'm from Sandy, Utah. I grew up in Bountiful, just north of here, and I got my concussion about 5 years ago. Pre-concussion, I feel like the way I describe myself is happy-go-lucky. I didn't have to plan for anything or prepare for anything. In the most humble way possible, I was good at a lot of things. Stuff came easy for me. Pre-concussion, it was really easy. Like when it came to work or it came to play, it came to anything. It was just, life was easy. It just flowed really easily. I was super active all the way up to 2019. Super active. I played a lot of indoor soccer. I would do a lot of trail running. I would do a lot of mountain biking. I played tennis. I mean, every day was a mini triathlon where I was doing, one of 3 things, or 3 of like 10 things is really how it looked like, And so like my weeks were always just super fun. And I was playing indoor soccer. It was like one of the later games where I had mountain biked earlier that day, and I had also trail run earlier that day, and then I was playing an indoor soccer game like at 10:30 at night. And I just got knocked off balance going for a 50-50 ball, and I got knocked hard enough that I fell right on my back out of the air and hit the back of my head on the ground. And I remember just laying there and actually keeping my eyes closed, which is really irregular, to like get knocked down and not get back up immediately. And so it was like, I remember just laying there and being like, that was serious. I don't think that I blacked out or anything like that, but I laid there for a good 4 or 5 minutes, and I finally stood up, and it was the first time in my life that I was like, I'm not going to keep playing soccer right now. Like, this is it. And so I walked over to the bench and I sat down, and my teammates were like, hey, don't go anywhere. Let's talk, and we're kind of playing the game. And I was just like, I just want to go. I just want to leave. And so I started driving home, and I remember I was just like, I felt so rattled. I called my dad and I was like, I'm going to come over to your house. I just need you to like check my pupils and see if they're dilated. And I don't know if I should go in and check for brain bleeding, but it was bad enough that I was just like super worried about it. And anyway, I eventually ended up getting diagnosed with a concussion, but thought that was just kind of like it. It was like, okay, you had a concussion. Now you know. Now you can continue on life. That was 5 years ago. Between the age of like 14, 13, and 31, you do not know death. It does not exist. You do not know pain. You believe that you're indestructible. And then it just takes one moment that you realize you're not. And so it's a weird feeling. The primary thing that changed is I was hesitant to go as hard as I always went, right? And so I was mountain biking 6 times a week easily, and sometimes with 2-a-days, and it was like, so 6 times a week, and I was playing soccer and I was trail running. I just kind of stopped doing everything that meant everything to me. Everything that I stopped doing it. And it was like, and I didn't care. I just stopped doing it. And then it got harder because then I couldn't concentrate in my job. Long story short, my quality of life degraded significantly because I wasn't doing stuff that I enjoyed, and I was worse at stuff that I didn't enjoy, i.e. my job. And it just made life really, really hard for me. And as a result, I think that, getting a concussion made me irritable already, but then not doing things that I enjoy and being worse at things that I didn't enjoy, I was just kind of a miserable person to be around. Is it nice to be here with people that understand what I've been through and what I'm kind of experiencing day to day and how I feel? Yeah. It's really nice. Technically, you have 3 types of people here. There's A, the clinicians or the people that are working here that want you to get better. B, there's the clinicians that work here that have also been patients here. And they really resonate with you, and they really empathize with you. They understand because they've been on both sides of the table. And those are really interesting conversations. And then C, there's the patients here who are in your current same boat. And talking to them and saying, oh, my wife this or my friend that, it builds such a camaraderie because somebody else understands and that you're actually not bipolar or narcissistic or insane or anything, any diagnosis that come out of it. You're actually just concussed and need some amount of therapy that you didn't know existed until you kind of found this place. And so those 3 different types of people all have your back in different ways. And it's kind of cool. Between me and my best friend, ChatGPT, I was looking for something that I didn't know existed, right? But I wanted to find a clinic that, I guess backing up a little bit, I believed that I could fix myself from this concussion, that it's my brain, I own it, it's in my head every day, and that there are hard things that I couldn't do. And I believe that I should be able to move myself from not being able to do those to being able to do those. And if I couldn't do it, then certainly somebody else could help me find that path so that I could do it, right? Either way, I know it's got to be me. And so I was researching for clinics in that vein. And it really came down to 2 primary clinics that I found that had both scientifically based results with third-party reviews and research that backed it. Those 2 clinics were Amen Clinics and CognitiveFX. And the reason I went with CognitiveFX is the approach that they used, which is actual intervention, retraining your brain to find the neural pathways that were knocked out during the concussion. That right there, without any other intervention. There's no talk of continuing regime of supplements and prescriptions and, whatever have you. It's the idea of treat your body in a very healthy way, eat healthy, and then do healthy things. And that right there makes a lot of sense to me, because that's how the body works. That's how the body grows from infancy into adulthood. You do hard things, you get better at them. And CognitiveFX took the approach of do hard things and you'll get better at them. The thing was I just didn't know how to do that on my own. And so I went with CognitiveFX over Amen Clinics. Then after 2 weeks, I'm pretty satisfied with my decisions. There wasn't a moment where I was like, oh, I'm better, because I still don't think that I am. But I know that I've hit a trajectory that can get me there. And that's different than a light switch on, right? That's more like an ignition, where I know that I can rev the engine and I know what I'm capable of, is what it feels like. I always tell my wife, I'm like, I'm a Ferrari, but I've got no gas. And for the first time, after it's literally today, I feel like I've got some gas. And I can go kind of show what I'm made of now. And that's an exciting feeling. I mean, we're kind of designed to do hard things. And I feel like for the last 5 years since I got my concussion, I've avoided doing hard things, kind of take the easy path. It's like if something seems difficult, I don't really do it. But that's what I relished in pre-concussion. The harder the task, the more enjoyable it would be for me. And that's what I'm excited about. And for me, it's easy when it's tangible, running a mountain, biking 100 miles, like that's easy. It's difficult, but it's easy to see the reward that comes from that. But cognitive tasks, they're so easy for me to just skirt and not do and never reap or benefit from the rewards of cognitively and challenging yourself in that regard. And so the thing that I'm most excited about is to make some steep and difficult to reach goals that involve cognitive tasks. That's reading books, that's investing, that's bringing myself up to speed where I kind of lost traction in the last 5 years. The primary reason I came here is because the results that you're given are a product of what you do. And if you are convinced that you can do this, the place that you could see the results is here. And it's because of the FNCI, which is developed by Dr. Allen. There's not another place where you can get a scan A at the beginning of your treatment and a scan B at the end of your treatment and visualize and see that progress. And for me, that was the biggest thing, If I go to work out my arms, I would like to see progress. That after, I could take a picture on day 1 and I could take a picture on day 14 and I could see progress. That's important to me to be able to see that so that I know what I'm doing is working. And that's effectively what you get here, is you get a picture on day 1 and you get a picture on day 14 and you can see and visualize that progress. And that progress sets a trajectory for you. And that trajectory is what has me really excited at this moment, because I know there's been progress in the last 2 weeks. And so if you're wondering, if you're on the cusp and you're like me and you need that data or that tracking to visualize and see progress, this would be the place to do it. And if that doesn't push you over the edge, then I don't know what would, honestly.